We're here with Penn State men's volleyball head coach Mark Pavlik again. Coach, another successful road weekend against EIVA competition. Talk about your success on the weekend.
I think it was a big weekend for us. We took care of business against New Jersey Tech and Rutgers Newark. New Jersey Tech's a good young up-and-coming team. I wouldn't be surprised if they get into the Final Four of the EIVA and in the playoffs. And certainly wouldn't be surprised to see them build on their success this year. They do some things pretty well. You know, they got some physical guys. I think they're just young, and they're a team that I think the EIVA is going to have to contend with for the next 3 or 4 years. Rutgers, God bless Pedro Trevino, their head coach. If our fans remember, they came in here with 8 players, and over spring break they had no matches, so the guys went home on break, and I think one of them got in an accident, traffic accident, actually got hit by a car. They're down to 7 guys. Trying to train 7 guys when you need 6 of them on one side at any given time really makes it tough. And I think we kind of took advantage of that in game 1 where we beat them 25-9, but like I told our guys before the second game, I hate when that happens because it kind of sets you up. And you knew that Rutgers had some great arms, and Matheny and Pappas and Marson, and they started to play hard. It was like they got slapped and said, hey, we better play better. And they made a match out of it, and our guys responded pretty well.
And after 2 road losses in California 2 weeks ago, you come back with a win against St. Francis and another 2 here in the EIVA. How do you see your team bouncing back in conference competition the way they have?
I don't know if we ever bounce back. I think we're playing at probably a very similar level that we played in those losses. And you know, we're facing that time of year where we talked about it last week. You know, spring has sprung, and we're in the part of the season where I think rest recovery is huge for us. So I think we're just beginning to make the final push here. Wouldn't be surprised if in the next 2 weeks we start to see a little bit better or more improvement on the court. Not necessarily better, saying that we're not playing well right now, but our final push is going to start here. But first we got to get these guys rested and recovered.
And speaking of rest and recovery, Joe Sunder had a big weekend offensively, led you guys pretty strongly in both matches. How's he doing with the knee? How's everything going with Joe?
Joe's telling me the knee's fine, and his numbers are bearing that out. So I don't see Joe jumping any less or grimacing in any way, shape, or form. He seems to be in pretty good shape. So non-issue as far as I'm concerned from what Joe and Kelly are telling me. Kelly Saxton, our trainer par excellence here.
And as far as the defense is concerned, talk about the strengths of Connor Curry, how he's just been carrying the team in the back row. What do you see him improving on?
Connor's just growing into that role that you want a good libero to grow into, where he's controlling the back court, he's controlling our serve-receive patterns, he's understanding what we're trying to do with our block and where we want him. We're slowly giving him more and more responsibility to go with what he sees instead of, look, we want you to protect this area of the court. And Connor's just playing the game. He's doing everything that we thought he could do when we saw him as a high school senior. And just real excited that all of a sudden he's just calmed everything down for us. So and he's been passing and playing defense very, very well.
And Connor stepping into that role in the place of Dennis from last year. He said earlier this season sometimes he just finds himself talking and saying things that he doesn't even know make sense. What do you hear from Connor as far as a leader in the back row?
You need that position to communicate constantly. Dennis was one of the best at it. Connor that's one of the improvements that Connor has slowly made through the year, where he is used to talking, and at one point, like he said, he wasn't sure what he was saying. Now the information is concise, it's important, it's accurate. Although sometimes the guys will argue that when he calls out on every ball that's served, they're not sure or in on every ball that's served, they're not sure how accurate it is. But that's going to come, and I think you want the libero to be a veritable fountain of information, because he's the guy that's deepest in the court that can see everything that's going on.
And back in the thick of the IVA heading into this weekend, what are you looking to work on in practices specifically this week?
I don't think there's any specifics. It's just playing the game, whether it's the side out part of the game, whether it's the point scoring part of the game, passing and serving, we're going to hit everything. We're just going to keep our guys at the level that they need to be at so that when they step on the court, they're ready to perform at an even higher level.
All right, thanks, Coach. We'll talk to you later this week.
Sounds good, Kels.